Aloha headsets, Frank here, short one today and more of a PSA regarding the Star Wars Battlefront VR mission. For those of you living under a rock, it was released today on a PSN, and if you already own Battlefront, it'll cost you absolutely nada. But what if you don't own Battlefront? Is it worth it just for the VR mission? That's why we're here today. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah. Already happy. First, let me start off by saying this was one of my favorite experiences so far on the PlayStation VR. And no, I'm not just another Star Wars fanboy. Honestly, haven't even seen the new movie yet. But I digress. EA has really put together a wonderful piece of content, and although it's not that long, the short time you spend with it is extremely memorable. Little side note, the in-game download link wasn't working so well this morning. Could be fixed by now, but to be safe, just head over to the PlayStation Store and download it from there. To start things off, you boot up the mission to the inside of a hangar where you look at your X-Wing from different angles. The sense of size is amazing, and I kept having flashbacks to Luke Skywalker in the hangar on Endor. It was exhilarating. Next, you move up the stairs and into your cockpit, and that's where the real fun starts. Almost every button in the X-Wing is clickable, and although some just trigger sound effects, the sense of immersion you feel getting to play with everything is next level. I love the Valkyrie, but I never feel like I am in my cockpit. With the X-Wing VR mission, I finally feel like I have my own spaceship. After you play around with the buttons, you're asked to choose the male or female character and whether you would like the controls inverted or not. I played through with both characters, and the only real difference is the voice acting. After choosing your character and controls, the game asks you to hold down X and then the screen goes black. After the screen comes back up, you find yourself soaring through space, sitting in your marvelous spacecraft, surrounded by your team of other X-Wings. Little dialogue is exchanged and then you're off. First part of the mission is basically just learning flight controls. You speed up, slow down with the left stick, and control movement with the right. To lock on the targets, you use L2, and fire your blasters is R2. R1 is your photon cannon, and L1 is your shield. Controls are super simple and very responsive. Just be careful, your blasters can overheat, and there is a cooldown period on your shield and your photon cannon. After learning the controls and blasting your way through an asteroid field, you stumble upon a Y-Wing and need transportation. This is when the game starts picking up. After chauffeuring the Y-Wing for a couple minutes, you end up at an Imperial Star Destroyer surrounded by TIE fighters. Lock on, blast away, and fire your photon cannons. Just be careful. Don't run into anything or you lose a life. Halfway through the battle, you're tasked to destroy some TIE fighters on your partner's tail and tasked with firing a direct hit on the Star Destroyer. All of this is extremely satisfying, and the X-Wing handles like a dream. After the battle, if everyone made it, you blasted back to your fleet and given your score, even if everyone didn't make it. Like I said, it's a pretty short experience that was worth every penny. I loved the Star Wars movies when I was a kid, and even though I'm not a super fan, it felt so nostalgic sitting in that cockpit, like a dream come true. And they gave you a couple challenges to work towards, so there's replayability as well. Moral of the story, if you own Battlefront already, I don't know what you're doing watching this video, go play the damn game. And if you never picked it up, I'd say now is the best time. Not only will you get the amazing X-Wing VR mission, but even without that, Battlefront is an extremely fun game on its own. You could probably find it really cheap on eBay or Craigslist, but if you're impatient like me, used copies are only $15 right now at GameStop, and I think it's only $19.99 in the PlayStation Store. So, may the Force be with you, and enjoy.
Oh my god, it feels good.
Guess the rookie punched the button a little early.
Cut the chatter. All X-Wings accounted for, Admiral.
Copy that, Red.
Oh, it feels so good. Oh,
Red
oh,
flag.
yeah.
Pattern.
Told you it was a short one. You hopped into your X-Wing yet? Or you just gonna say forget about it? Let me know in the comments. As always, thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed it, please hit that thumbs up. And if you want to stay up to date on everything PlayStation VR, and you don't mind looking at this ugly mug, friggin' subscribe!